There was a famed artificer, renowned, whose work was prominent and widely known. He had a gift for forging brass and steel, and gold and metals shiny, bright, and real. From all the universe they came to him to turn their raw materials into gems. 'Twas said the artificer breathed in life to magic gifts by forging steel with strife. A flame from falling star did give its light, and stardust made his work a wondrous sight. He kept the flame alive both day and night. This flame became his life, his sole delight. One day, a mortal man approached the smith with a request to craft a necklace bright that would bestow on him eternal life, for death itself was what he feared the most. He'd seen his loved ones fall to plague and strife, and Talou knew his illness would not fade. He felt his life was slipping day by day, and sought the smith to keep the end at bay. The blacksmith, touched by this sad tale, agreed to craft the necklace, but it came with cost. He'd use the magic flame to forge the piece, yet knew that life must give for life to gain. Such precious amulet required great force to fuel the magic in the device's core. The smith explained the man must choose a life, his own or others, to sustain the charm. If not, Talou would soon succumb to plague, the illness that had haunted him so long. Talou was startled by this grim accord, yet thought of terrors haunting him at night, and thus agreed to what the smith had said. The artificer forged the amulet from brass and placed it in the magic flame, then whispered that Talou's wish might come true. When he bestowed the amulet to him, Talou saw it was empty, knew his task. He found a plant and took its life away and cured himself, the black veins fading fast. Talou lived life in solitude, a man. Each year the illness came, he'd heal with plants. But over time, his sickness grew and grew. He found he needed more to see it through. He drew from plants until the land was bare, consuming all the life that once was there. He called the smith, for something was amiss. The amulet required more than this. When the artificer to Talou came, he saw the lands destroyed by plague and blight. He looked upon the amulet with dread. It nearly drained his essence, so he fled. The artificer exclaimed, "Destroy it now, for it consumes all things within its path." He tried to take the amulet from Talou, but Talou clung, for it sustained his life. He saw that greed had tainted its pure heart, and gave it mind and will to seek more life. Talou's own hunger had corrupted it. The smith and Talou fought. The smith was hurt. With broken arm, he left to forge anew, a magic armor to protect from harm. Eventually, Talou's illness grew. He drained the essence of his world to live. He felt a power strange and new within as he consumed his planet's very soul. He gained the gift of telepathy's might and heard the smith approach in magic gear. The artificer approached Talou once more, demanding he return the amulet, and promised he would spare Talou his life. But Talou knew his thoughts and all his plans, to end him ere he grew too dangerous. Thus Talou did refuse, and both men fought. When Talou nearly caught his essence's scent, he tried to drain him, but the armor held. Talou predicted every move he'd make, and dodged each strike with skill and cunning grace. Eventually, Talou won once more. His power grew too great for any foe. He fell upon his knees, exhausted, weak, with throbbing veins of black upon his neck. As dawn approached, he sensed a power near, a force he'd never noticed once before. He raised the amulet towards the sky and drew the sun's essence, darkening all. The star system was plunged in utter night, and Talou felt a power new and bright. His hands now radiated with pure light. By draining stars, he gained the god's own might. With telepathy and mind's control, he wielded powers vast, beyond his soul. Talou approached the wounded smith with might. His newfound power made him feel renewed. By draining power from the distant star, he'd lengthened life 1,000-fold and more. The Artificer rushed home in great despair to quench his magic flame and close his shop, for he had wrought a great and evil curse, and Talou sought to taunt him with his pain. He placed a curse upon the smith and said, "If e'er your flame should die, then so will you." The smith's first love became his curse to bear, to watch the flame for all eternity. To keep it burning he must forge and toil, and suffer Talou's fate forevermore. For thousands years Talou absorbed the suns, not just to live, but gain the power of gods. He hoped that godhood would make him immortal. Yet life in many star systems was lost.